Hey guys, inspired to talk to you about the power of will, how crucial it is for both the path of self-realization, or the vertical path, as well as for the horizontal path of empowerment, expansion, getting rid of limiting beliefs, and becoming a powerhouse expression of your truest self. So, quite simple really. Essentially, though people don't realize this, we are the one infinite creator. We are an extension of it when it comes to the body and the mind. The individuated sense of self is an extension of the one infinite non-dual creator. This is just the truth. Just deal with it. This is the truth. You are inseparable. Every portion of what you call you is inseparable from the one infinite creator, and at an absolute true level, the truest level is that you are everything that is and you are beyond. You are the source of all that is. Therefore, when I say the one infinite creator, I'm actually directly addressing myself, you, in these different eyes, but same thing. All right, so how do you harness the power of the one infinite creator inside of this illusion of form, of manifestation, of creation? If you look at our society, we are underwhelmingly disciplined, meaning there's a complete lack of discipline or the application of will. Now, I'm not a big fan, I've never been a big fan of discipline as it's typically taught or instructed or tried to be enforced upon people, like you have to do this and this and this. I never was good with that. I always wanted to do it my way. So it's seemingly I was undisciplined, but actually in my commitment to what was true in myself, I was highly disciplined. So make discipline fun. Make discipline simply the application of will for what makes total sense for you, your incarnation, your growth, your spiritual journey, your learning, your awakening, your manifestation. So the power of will is how we harness this. One of the ways in which we harness the power of the one infinite creator that we are, and we get to know ourselves as the one infinite creator, one of these ways is the dedication to applying the will in ways that make sense, in rightful ways, or aligned ways. So what do I mean with that? This means that you can apply your will to anything. You do this all the time, every day. You are applying this free will of the one infinite creator constantly into things. You're pouring it into things that are not worth it. Okay? And who am I to judge that what you're spending your time on is not worth it? Well, I don't care. It's just not worth it. All the things that you do every single day, they're not worth it. Most of them, anyway, for most of you. I mean, there's exceptions. But there's rightful ways to apply your will, and there's unrightful ways. Let's just call it that. There's ways that are in alignment, that make sense, that are important, valuable, crucial to existence itself, to life itself, to nourishing and valuing and accelerating the very purpose behind creation. And there's ways that are just super random, are all about seeking validation in the world, are all about not knowing who you are and proliferating and expanding upon the things that are not really you. So consider that most of what you spend your attention on, what you apply yourself to, is not worth it. Now again, if we take the distinction of the non-dual path, or the path of direct self-realization, and sometimes then we can judge the application of will by saying, well, that's not important because that's the ego, that's the individuation. But I guarantee you, my friends, that you are going to need that energy. You're going to need that discipline. You're going to need that application of will trained in order to penetrate into these higher levels of truly directly realizing the one infinite creator as yourself. It's not just going to happen by grace. Fuck grace. Grace is the result of the application of will in rightful ways. Then everything is gracious. You can't just sit back and expect God to come your way when you're filled with all these random, non-important priorities which should not be your priority. But everyday life just draws you in left, right, up, down. You have no fucking clue who you are. And then you apply that precious will, that precious power of the one infinite creator in those ways, and they're not being of service to you or life. They're not nourishing life. And so they're not making a difference. They're not making a difference. A difference needs to be made. Look around. Look within. A difference shall be made. All right, so now that we got that over with, understand the symbiosis between the personal, the individuation, the will of the creator being harnessed in the form of a mind, body, spirit entity. That will, when trained, when harnessed, when made consistent, when made aligned, when prioritized, now it becomes the source of all joy, of all fulfillment, of all making a difference, but also of your self-realization. The power that you accumulate through the practicing of manifestation, the practicing of the application of will in rightful ways, in aligned ways, in life-affirming ways, not life-denying or life-distracting ways. After that training, or during that training, it can go very fast. You can accumulate this free will. You can reaccumulate. You can remember how powerful you are through that practice very quickly. Okay, and then this gives you the launching platform to also dive deep into the realization of what's beyond this illusion. And before that, the substratum of the illusion, which is the presence energy, where all things are one big soup of presence energy, where there's only one beingness. But beyond that, there's the one infinite absolute, which you can only penetrate with great will. So whether you're on the path of self-realization or on the path of empowerment, of the individuation, I encourage you to see there is ultimately no distinction or separation. You will be only as effective in one way as you are in the other. You will only be as free in your empowerment as you are able to know and recognize that you're already free beyond this form, beyond this illusion, beyond separation. Only then can you feel fearless and free to actually empower, make a difference in people's lives, make a difference to creation, accelerate creation's purpose, which is to evolve, and to allow consciousnesses through the use of the paint that is this creation to paint different pictures so that it can become self-reflective and wake up to itself.